Hey superstars, welcome back to part 2 of the first workout. This is going to be more upper body and I was going to say arm, but arms aren't part of the upper body. So scratch that, it's going to be more upper body focused, okay? We're going to start with the back, move on to more of the chest, front of the shoulder before going on to the biceps and then the triceps. So again, whatever equipment you have is going to be super helpful, and we're going to start this one with a band if you have one. Also, we have the option of using dumbbells. I'm going to go slip soft for this one, no judgment if you keep them on. And what we want is to be standing on the center of the band itself. Not quite like that. We want just a little bit of space. It's more comfortable under the foot if you've got a little bit of space between them. And what we want, a nice straight feet. We want that chest pulled up towards the ceiling. So pretend you've got a chest, you have a chest. A string on the chest being pulled up towards the ceiling. So we're lengthening the chest. If I show you side on, where we've got a string on the center of the chest itself being pulled up towards the ceiling, still keeping those ribs in, not overextending, yeah? Friday nights only, we discussed that before. Friday nights, not right now. And from here, we're holding onto the outer portion of the band, pulling the elbows in towards the body as we row. So a rowing motion is a pulling motion, which means we're using the back to bring the band towards you. Elbows are tucked in. You're almost trying to wrap the elbows around the body itself. Now you may also feel this in the back of the legs, in the hamstrings and the glutes. That's totally normal. They're there to stabilize you. So it's kind of like two birds with one stone, this exercise. Now the further out your feet are, the more your arms will have to do. So if you want it to be harder, use a thicker band or stand wider on the band itself. Now for those, we're going to go for 15 again. If you have dumbbells, we can use dumbbells, and similar principles apply. With the dumbbells, we'll start standing nice and straight, feet nice and straight under the hips. Again, chest lifted, but not overextending, okay? From there, just a little bend in the knees, just soften the knees, and then we're hinging forwards at the hips. So what I like to tell people is, pretend you've got tubes of toothpaste on your hips. I don't know why, tubes of toothpaste just work. I'm gonna squeeze the toothpaste out of the tubes as we lean forwards, and this position we hold as the upper body does the work. So let me show you in real time. We grab the dumbbells. For these, if you have slightly lighter ones, maybe more like 7, 6, even 5 kilos, is probably going to be a better weight. Typically the lower body can tolerate more than the upper body. So go heavy on your lower body, a little lighter on your upper body. So soft bend the knees, hinging from the hips, and we're keeping the elbows in nice and close as you pull, down nice and slowly. Nice strong core, nice strong glutes, shoulders away from the ears. We're not shrugging, okay? We're not 100 years old, so we want a nice posture. And again, we're going to go for 15 of these if you can. 12 to 15 is good. Etc., etc. So pretend I've done 15 repetitions. From here, we're going to go onto push-ups. Now, just like with the plank, if push-ups are challenging for you, use what we call an incline. So that's where you elevate your hands. And I'm going to use my awesome coffee table here. We want to, of course, make sure this isn't going to move on you. Hands on the edge, and about shoulder width apart if you can. Weight through your toes, weight shifted forwards. Again, chest is still tall, still lifted through the chest. And from here, if you can, you're going to lower yourself before coming back up. So chest hitting the edge of the surface, up. Not out like this. I see this a lot. I see this way too often. This is not a push-up. And the opposite is true. We also don't want to be too far forwards. Okay? So that sweet spot is where mid-bust is hitting the edge of the surface. Also watching that the hips don't drop. Okay? Not doing this. And you're not Mount Kosciuszko, so don't bring the hips up first. Okay? everything works together in a nice straight line. Now, if that's tough, I want you to hold the push-up posture, but with a little bend to the elbow. I just want you to stay there. And that will be your bridging to being able to do a push-up. So get into that position, gently bend the elbows to whatever angle you can, and you'll just hold that. And you'll hold that 20-30 seconds to start with, and you'll build up to being able to do a push-up on an incline before doing a push-up on the ground. So, clear the floor. Same principles apply, except of course you don't need to worry about where your hands are in terms of hitting the edge of the surface, because your chest is going to touch the ground, okay? Few options here. Now you can go down on your toes and use your knees to bring you back up if coming up from the floor is in fact a little too challenging, because that's really tough, okay? That's a really tough part. So same things, hands shoulder width apart, weight in your toes, core on, glutes on, squeeze the front of your legs. Like this should be cramping, you should be squeezing it so tight. When you come down, as controlled as you can. Now, just the knees on the ground, keep the hips off. There should be a space here, and then you're pushing back up. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. No shrugging, yeah? So, toes down, knees up, toes down, knees up, okay? I should also mention with the incline, the higher the surface, the easier. So if you have a countertop, which is maybe mid-rib to bust height, that's gonna be easier starting point for a lot of people than something as low as a coffee table. So find a surface that works for you. Now if push-ups are your thing, and you're like, give me the challenge, then we go, of course, full push-ups all the way to the ground and all the way off. Yeah? Watching the hips, not letting them drop too much, but trying to get the chest to touch the ground and pushing from the floor. Watch that the hand stays on the floor and is not rolling. We want that thumb there, we want pressure through here on the floor. As you're pushing, a cue I like to give is pretend you're pushing your hands towards each other. That helps to engage the chest. We should be using the chest and the front of the shoulder to get us away from the surface, whether that's the ground, whether that's the coffee table, whether that's a counter. We're using chest, front of the shoulder to push. So trying to push your hands towards each other helps engage the chest. We should not feel it too much in the arms, not through here. A little bit through the tricep, yes, a little towards the end, because the tricep helps to extend at the elbow, which is what we're doing. We're straightening at the elbow, so this guy will work a bit, but through here, not too much. Reassess your technique. If you're feeling it through the arms, it's not an arm exercise. It's a chest and front of the shoulder exercise primarily, okay? So that's